nurse's station or assist in any other way. So if someone's...
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, all right?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client.
Good morning. Oh man, we got a lot to talk about on the show today. I'll talk about this later. This is my new My Pillow pet bed that I just got yesterday for my dog. This is my second one.
Those of you who are Medicare,
I'll talk about that. I'll show it to you guys later.
Will help you with your prescriptions.
This is the big one. This is a full-size, large one.
Care physician and specialist, right?
Of course, we'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's
Here we go, guys.
iwilladvocates.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
Alrighty, welcome everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1971, and it is Wednesday, September 1st, 2021. We got a lot to talk about today on the program, and a lot of topics we're going to get into today. And, you know, I watched Biden in that, well, it wasn't a press conference because he ran like a coward and didn't take any questions. But I watched his statement, and he was 2 hours late. Really, he was a day late because he came out a day later. And I want to ask you all a few things about Biden's speech yesterday, and then I want to get into what's going on with the Gold Star families, which I think is very important to discuss. We'll hear from some of the Gold Star families on the program today. Gold Star families from the 13 who were killed last week in the Taliban ISIS terrorist attack at the airbase. But I want to talk about Biden's speech first, and I want your observations on it, your thoughts on it, your reactions, even if they're emotional reactions. I want to hear from you about it. Now, I did notice there's a couple things I noticed about Biden yesterday. One, he looked like he had a lot of makeup on and looked like he had some, I don't know, Botox and other things. I'm not exactly sure. It looked like to me that he had some quick cosmetic type enhancements to make himself look younger. He was trying to look energetic. They had a lot of makeup on him. And the purpose of that was that for some reason, the Biden circle, which is a strange group of people who are so out of touch with reality, it's hard to even measure. But for some reason, they believe that yesterday was a historic speech that will go down in the history books, and Biden's going to look like some great hero. that he was announcing the end of the war, the longest war, the 20-year war, the Afghan war, the war on terror. And he went through all of our accomplishments that show that we actually still won this war. So I think that's what that was all about. They could not be more out of tune, out of touch with reality, and certainly do not feel the pulse of the American people. But did it look to you like they had pumped him up with something, like a lot of something to make him look younger? And was it just makeup? And then this angry tone, and this is what I want to ask you all very specifically about. He was yelling. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to yell into the mic, but he was yelling. He was angry. In fact, he ran off like a coward and didn't take any questions. Although he did leave the podium and come back, not to take a question. He forgot his mask. So he came back and got nothing shows strength like the commander-in-chief wearing his mask. But Psaki was even asked about this from one of the reporters. One of the reporters in the press pool had asked Jen Psaki, about this, and said, Biden gave a very angry speech today. That was an angry speech. Why is he angry? Who is he angry at? Psaki denied it. And there's a couple of possibilities here, and I want to ask you all which of the two possibilities you think is what the anger was about. Now, our number is toll-free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1. It's toll-free no matter where you're listening to the program from. 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. Was the anger in his tone because he is truly angry? These Gold Star families have really been laying into Biden in person in some instances, as you'll hear on the program later. The media have been against him, and he's not getting the gratitude that he thinks he's deserving of. Was it true anger at everyone, at the world? Or was it this? Okay, or was it this? Because of his cognitive decline, and he's always sounding half asleep, is he only able to come off awake if he yells and is angry? So is the anger true anger at the world because they don't appreciate the goodness that is Biden? Or is it how he presents himself looking like he's awake and he can do it if he's angry? And I want to hear your thoughts on that. Which one of those two? And he was still fading out towards the middle of it, and by the end, he was really messing up bad. So I want to hear your thoughts on that. Now, the other question is this about Biden's speech yesterday, and this is important stuff here. Biden's cognitive decline, I personally believe, I know everyone likes to say Obama, and there may be some, that's certainly a factor in what's going on at the White House, but I believe Jill Biden is really running the country. We, in effect, have our first female president in Jill Biden. You know, I do believe that. But this is, and I want to ask you this question in a very serious way. Is it time to call on him to resign? Are we better off with Kamala Harris than with this guy? Kamala Harris is awful. She's terrible. I understand this. And incompetent. But having someone in this mindset, where the country is being run by his wife and a former president from the Hamptons, or wherever Obama's mansion is. Is it the Hamptons? Is it time to call on Biden to resign and have Kamala take over that role? And that's a serious question, because what's happened in Afghanistan is going to be an ongoing disaster for years to come. Many have died already. More will die. And people are facing all kinds of terror and violence as we sit here, well, I'm standing, but as I stand here and speak to you right now, there are things going on in Afghanistan right now that are out of Saw movies, all right? It's like the pawn shop in Pulp Fiction kind of stuff going on over there. You know what I mean? It's a house of horrors. Is it possible for Kamala to be worse than Biden? You can be equally as bad, but is it possible to be worse? And I really want to hear your thoughts on this, because I will say, okay, I've been following this stuff for a long time, and there's presidents I've liked and presidents I haven't liked, and there's been politicians I haven't liked. I can tell you right now, that speech yesterday and this week with the watch, but the speech yesterday, I have never truly felt rage at a president before like this. Never. And I believe this is beyond partisanship. I believe this is one of those rare times where we come together across party lines in a nonpartisan way and say enough is enough. So I want to hear your thoughts on all of this. At 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1. And numerically, that's 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Let's take a call or two before we break. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, Brian. Vincent Wellington. What's going on?
Hey, Vincent Wellington. I want to throw a shout out. We still, all week long, have not heard from Mike in Louisiana, one of our regular callers to the program, since the hurricane hit. And I'm a little concerned about Mike in Louisiana. So if you are listening, Mike, please call us and let us know you're okay. All right, Wellington, what's up? Andrea, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Andrea.
Greg, too. Yesterday, you did a great job ripping him apart.
I'll read your chat in a minute.
Just a total swap out. And also...
Well, he really, when you're in a conversation like that with someone, you can't stop down on everything that they say, because the call's got to progress. But there's one thing he said that I chose not to go with because I was going a different direction. But he had said in that call, Greg, too, yesterday, he outed himself as a true liberal. He says, why don't you take your so-called listeners and do what, organize an event, like be like Black Lives Matter. Do what Black Lives Matter do. Well, Black Lives Matter burned down cities. They terrorize neighborhoods and loot. And for him to say something about Black Lives Matter in a positive way, he screwed up. He outed himself as a liberal in that little comment.
For sure. But, on the context of what Biden and his anger to show strength or whatever he's trying to show, I think it's more of that's his only way of really rallying himself up. He's so...
That's the only way he can sound awake if he's yelling and angry.
Right. It's just a cognitive thing for him. It's his way of being in the Senate back in the 30 years that he's been in there. His way of being in the Senate was always a nasty, rude person.
Oh, yes.
And that's all he really knows. And we see that he is not a very intelligent man. There is so much that we can talk about. But I think the biggest thing, Brian, is that he is very, very non-transparent. We have no access to what's really going on with this guy. And with Trump, we had Twitter. This guy was on Twitter every day telling you his agenda and what he was trying to do for us.
And why. Yeah, and I'll tell you, Biden, and I want to really ask you, think about this now. Is it time for him to resign? Should we add, it means Kamala would be the president, and I understand she's a disaster, but can she be worse than this?
Brian, I'd hate to see, because every one of these people that have their own agenda, they all have their own path that they're going to run it down our throats with. So, to be honest, I think the bureaucracy is running most of what we're seeing. Jill Biden and Obama might have something to do with it, but the bureaucracy... I
don't agree with that, because the bureaucracy and the deep state wanted us to have a permanent military presence in Afghanistan, and and Biden pulled them out. That's why CNN is turned against him, because the CNN is controlled by the intelligence community, and CNN is really turned against him in a big way. So no, I think on this one he went rogue.
Maybe, But, I mean, I think that this is all in order for him to be able to throw back more troops there and really not end the war. This might end up turning into another 20 years of us trying to salvage or solve whatever the problem is over there. But, I mean, in all honesty, there's a caliphate going on still. In all honesty, nothing has stopped over there from what they've been trying to accomplish. They just went dormant through Trump. You know what I mean?
Biden is an uncaring, soulless person. And I think he's always been this way, because I do remember when he had his wits about him and he was in the Senate, he was always nasty. He was I've never seen him in a way that wasn't pleasant. And if he seemed pleasant, it was usually during a point where he was making a move to get creepy. So he's always been this way. There's no doubt about it. And Obama even said when he was vice president that Joe's always wrong on everything. Every decision he makes is always wrong. So this is how he's always been. but he's gotten a lot of people killed, not just the 13 servicemen and women, but he's got a lot of people killed in Afghanistan. He's handed over a very large country to terrorists. And what he's done is he's reckless and dangerous.
I can agree with that, but I mean, I have one point that I would like you to comment on more, and that is that they were able to take a woman that literally criticized this man the entire time she was on stage with him and put her underneath him. I just don't understand how people were so fooled and so stupid and so out of touch. Or
it's about Kamala.
Trump was on yesterday with Buck and Clay, or Clay and Buck, or whatever those two guys' names are.
You said Buck. I almost went for the dump button. Buck Sexton. Yeah, you said Buck. Yeah, with a B.
I didn't want to put the Sexton in there either, but I mean, they were on with Trump yesterday, and he actually just ripped into what happened in 2020 on November 3rd.
Yeah. Well, this is the problem. Okay, all these other things. We're going to be stuck with this guy for almost 3.5 years still, until the next election, at least, unless he resigns or somehow is removed from office through impeachment or the 25th Amendment or something. And when I talk about him resigning and bringing in Kamala, you look at what's going on here right now. You look at what's going on here right now. And the disaster that has just happened, and how many people's lives have been destroyed and how many lives have been lost because of his recklessness. What will happen in the next 3.5 years? This is just the beginning. He's just getting started. And you really have to consider that when you talk about should there be calls on him to resign. I know people are talking about impeachment. Impeachment, no president has been removed from office after an impeachment. Okay, none, and it's really an impossible bar to reach, and I think that the country and the world, as crazy as this sounds, I think we might be safer with Kamala. I think Kamala would be so overwhelmed by the daily decisions of a president, of a commander-in-chief, she would defer to the deep state, defer to the military, and that might be better than having this guy who gets just crotchety, and because he's got to prove that he's got his wits about him, handed a country over. Plus, he's corrupt. Let's not forget that. I think it's something that really has to truly be considered. I know we don't want either of them as president, but that we're in a bad situation right now. Listen, I got to run for a break, though. I'm a little late. I appreciate the call. 22 minutes after the hour, we'll break and be right back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Don't go anywhere.
On the line, we have our estate planning attorney, Attorney Barry Siegel.
Andrea, $5 super chat, everyone. Thank Andrea. Joe and Hunter want to be remembered. That's why Biden is forcing the vax and the Afghan disaster, and why Hunter videotapes everything. 100% ego. The thing about, Hunter, with the videotaping everything, I think a lot of that with Hunter Yeah, it was a very good call. I think a lot of that with Hunter is, you know, Joe's always talking about Bo. He never talks about Hunter. Hunter's got a lot of daddy issues, and I think he videotapes and does all that stuff to try to screw his dad over. I really do. And Hunter may be, when these videos leak out, he may be one of the guys that actually hire prostitutes to have someone to talk to, too. Durham, I don't even think Durham exists anymore. I really am thinking, I'll talk about this when I get back, because they have that one picture of him where he looks like someone from the Old West, you know? And that picture's been around for like 4 or 5 years now. I don't think I think Durham is like a figment of our imagination in so many ways. I just don't think he exists. I mean, why can't the media get a new photograph of this guy? Every time they bring up Durham on TV, it's that same old photograph, the close-up of the face that's like 10 years old. Why don't they have any new video or photographs of this guy?
All day, every day, and it's a very complex thing that they have an expertise in. You want to give them.
You know what I mean?
You know, so many.
We've talked about the Durham report quite a bit, but
all their assets, taking care of their husband, taking care
I'll bring it up when I get back on the air.
And then
You guys all, by the way, are welcome to call in. I put a link to my shirt store, pinned it in the chat. You can get this shirt and all, most of the other shirts you see me wearing.
For Steve Kane listeners, his number
Just click that link up there.
855 FLA Estate.
Oh man, I wanted to go get a cup of water during the break. I'll have to wait till the next one.
855-352-3782. And of course his website, SiegelLawGroup.com, a brand new updated website that you want to check out as well. Attorney Barry Siegel. All right, Barry, we will talk later in the week.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. 24 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, during the break, we were talking in the YouTube live chat room. You should subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys, by the way. Just search Brian Craig, The Brian Craig Show on YouTube. You'll find my channel. I live stream the radio show every day. We have a very opinionated chat room there and a really good community. I upload my podcast as well on my YouTube channel, and that has a live chat room going on during the podcast and a lot of other videos too. I put up there all of the time. So just search Brian Craig, The Brian Craig Show on YouTube, and subscribe, and it is free. Okay, the subscribe makes it sound like you got to pay. It's free. Okay, but someone in the chat room on YouTube Live said during the break, you never talk about the Durham report, and this is what I told everybody during the commercial. I'm at the point now where I'm not even sure Durham exists. Anytime, and I want you to think about this, anytime you turn on the news and they talk about Durham or the Durham report, they show the same photograph of Durham that they... When was Durham appointed? Like 4 years ago now? We haven't gotten one new photograph. It's the same photograph of Durham every time. And when we first saw it, that photograph was old. They've got like this 10-year-old photograph. And this guy, he has zero social media, nothing online. Why has the media not produced some new stock footage, either a still photograph or video of Durham? They keep showing the old photograph of him every single time. The one where he looks like a gunfighter from the Old West, that close-up with the beard. And I don't know, about 6 months ago or so, I started talking about this. I'm not sure Durham really exists. I'm starting to think it's an urban legend, a myth. You get my drift? You know what I mean? It's just so strange. You would think that they would have an updated stock photograph. Why not? Very weird. All right, let's go back to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name?
Oh, this is Tom from Baltimore.
Tom in Baltimore, Maryland. How you doing?
Oh, I'm okay. The only thing I can think of, Biden is so corrupt. He's probably wholesaling America out. All these weapons, $83 billion. He probably sold them to the Taliban, for all I know. I mean, the man is so corrupt.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, we were talking about this last week and the week before. We haven't brought it up this week, but this is something I learned a couple weeks ago from Nigel Farage. I did not know this, that, you know, prior to 9/11, the primary economic engine in Afghanistan was, you know, heroin, the heroin trade. That was their number one industry, you know, pretty much an export business. And then after we took over Afghanistan, when we pushed out the Taliban, we did a geological survey of the entire country and found out they have a lot of natural resources, including gold deposits. But what was of most value and a most large supply, Afghanistan has the largest lithium deposits in the world. And lithium is necessary for the electric car batteries. And I was talking about this the last couple of weeks. I believe Joe Biden sold Afghanistan to China. They wanted those lithium deposits. That's huge money, and we know that he works for China. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as far as Camilla being president, this whole administration should be thrown out.
Yeah, well, but I don't want to. I don't live in the world of should. You know what I mean? I live in the world of what's actually realistic. And they can't even get the damn Republicans to come together on impeachment, okay? So, you know, but what has happened in the last almost 3 weeks in Afghanistan is some of the worst moments in this country's, at least modern history, and it's frightening that this corrupt, incompetent old coot. What's going to happen in 3 years, 3.5 years? He's not even through his first summer.
In the real world, America's done, I mean, between what happened in Afghanistan and what's happened at the southern border, we are in deep trouble.
With a weak leader. Look, North Korea started their nuclear program again. Trump had everything under control, handed Biden a perfect world, a perfect country, everything. And everything's gone to hell.
Trump almost had peace in the Middle East.
That's right.
One step away from total peace.
Mm-hmm.
And
don't believe what Biden says that he was going by the Trump plan. Trump's plan was never to remove us. We were going to have a permanent military presence in Iraq. What Trump had negotiated was an end to combat operations, but still maintaining a military presence in Afghanistan, like we have in Korea, in South Korea, like we have in Germany, like we have in Japan, still today, 70 years after these wars. And that's what, you know, so this was no total withdrawal. And the old government that ran, they were supposed to still be in power, not the Taliban. So don't buy. What do you think about Joe's angry act yesterday?
Oh, you know, I don't even watch the man. I don't watch the news. I just, you know, every time I catch the news or I hear Joe, I get so pissed.
Well, you gotta know what's going on. You know, I know it's not easy to watch. It was not easy for me to watch him yesterday.
I keep track online with different sites, you know, what's going on. But it's just you know, what's ridiculous is the whole thing. This is an illegitimate.
Well, he's an illegitimate man. I mean, you know, you look at what he did in Afghanistan. There has never been a president who has done to a country what he just did. This is not even what we did in Vietnam, okay? Vietnam was much different than this because, well, if I don't want to get sidetracked on Vietnam, no president has left Americans behind like this knowingly. You know, he said yesterday in his speech that 90% of the Americans who wanted out got out. Well, why is it not 100%? You know, yeah, that's insane. And he's telling us, well, 90% of Americans who wanted out got out, and that's supposed to be a victory? I mean, what kind of victory is that? I've never heard of such a thing. And what about our Navy man that the Taliban are holding hostage that they didn't turn over? I'm sure he would like to return. Why didn't you get him back, Biden? I mean, that's the incompetence. The incompetence of this guy. There's no way Kamala could be worse. She might be equally bad in different ways, But I can't believe anyone could be worse. Hey, thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name?
I noticed that he comes out there and reads everything, and he was mad because it was too long for him to read.
Ah.
It was too long.
Oh, okay. Is that a joke or is that analysis? I don't know.
And also, last night they said there's 1,000 Americans stranded.
Yeah.
Not 100.
Yeah, I know. They're saying 100 or so. I don't buy any of that.
He comes out there like an angry old robot that has to read too long, and then he runs away. At the end of the teleprompter, it probably says, "Get out of there."
And then he came back for the mask. He left, and then he came back for the mask.
Yeah.
Very weird. They don't have another mask back there where he was going? Oh, man. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's 32 minutes after. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back. Don't you go anywhere. Be right back,
Attention
guys.
seniors and those who care about them.
I just got to get some water.
Craig, I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course, we'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in
Steve Kane Show.
Hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214, or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. All right, so, you know, we're talking about Biden yesterday. The anger was I think the anger was a way to compensate for his cognitive decline. If he's angry, he can seem awake, he can seem alert, he can seem like he's with it. And what he has done, there, you know, we've had presidents that have had different levels of competency. Okay? And when this president goes out and says 90% of Americans who wanted to leave were able to leave, yay, we're supposed to celebrate. we've never had a president that did something that incompetent. And if he's bragging that leaving 10% of Americans, we know the number's larger, but just from the discussion, we'll use his number. When you have a president who says that leaving 10% of Americans behind to this Sharia terrorist state of Afghanistan, and that's supposed to be a victory, no president has done that, not even Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter made some mistakes, don't get me wrong. But every one of those, Jimmy Carter will tell you when it comes to the Iranian hostages that every hostage came back alive. And he uses that as a show he had victory. Can Biden say the same? Will the American hostages, however many they have, all come back alive? I don't think so. No president has bragged about leaving Americans behind as hostages before. And that's why I'm telling you, there is no way Kamala could be worse than this guy. She could be equally bad, and she's got other problems. But we're in uncharted territory. All right, 1-888 Kane 1 is our number. 888-465-2631. Richie, the bus driver.
Good morning. Good morning. I have a different outlook on this whole thing. Bear with me, okay? I think you're going to realize what's going to happen. We're in big trouble here. We're in trouble on our homeland, okay? He's bragging about this airlift, this tremendous success that they brought in. How many? 140,000.
Oh, yeah. A city worth. A city worth of them, yeah.
He has left what we were going in there for, basically. Not just the American citizens that he left behind, but he's left probably 100,000 translators. You realize that the veterans that have tried to help the translators, because the translators actually saved lives. They worked with...
Yeah, and a lot of these Americans, I heard a congressman yesterday make some good points about this. A lot of these Americans, that some of them did stay behind by choice because the Taliban wouldn't let their families out because their families weren't U.S. citizens, and they're not counting those in the numbers, and a ton of green card holders, too. And out of this, whatever number they brought to America, how many of them are terrorists?
Thank you. This is what we're gonna wake up when they're released, and we're gonna be. Let me tell you something. I was listening to Stephen Miller last night. They don't have enough translators to translate for these people. Don't speak a word of English.
Yeah, because they left them all in Afghanistan. The translators.
That's right. The Taliban was sort of like Castro. You remember down here, Castro opened up his prisons and jails.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thought they were getting their family members, and the terror that was brought upon Miami for like 3 years.
Oh yeah, the cocaine cowboy era and all that. Yeah.
The whole thing. Now you're going to see that happen here because how many Omars are in this crowd here?
Oh yeah, we've got a few new squads there. Yeah.
A lot of squads there. And not for nothing. We can't take on everybody because the country's in shambles. I think that the Taliban let who they wanted to the airport, and they prevented people that we wanted out from getting through. It was so obvious.
Correct.
This time you were seeing a lie by this. Every day they try to clean up their crap on TV with their press secretary and this idiot that's in the White House. They try to clean up. The fact of the matter is, we saw it live in color. People getting their shot and everything else, and blown away on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Caught every day. So these were total lies. The whole thing was a lie. He was making it sound like all you got to do is get through the checkpoints. That the Taliban are cooperating. Lie. They weren't cooperating.
No, and there's no doubt that they President Trump was on with Stuart Varney yesterday morning in the 9 o'clock hour talking about this, and President Trump said terrorists filled those flights. No doubt, terrorists filled those flights, yeah.
America, we're gonna wake up to La La Land here, I'm telling you.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm saying calls to resign should begin. I mean, We've had incompetent presidents, right? Like Jimmy Carter. Okay, no one has done what this guy has done. No one has done what this guy has done. And it's nothing like this has ever happened before. And as bad as Kamala is, she can't be worse than this guy. No way. It's impossible.
He got in front of us yesterday, and it was like I was being scolded by my third grade teacher. You know, not for nothing. This guy's a total idiot. He's trying to spin this, that this was the greatest success in the world. Look how many we got out of there. He lost 30 Americans, the wounded ones plus the ones that died. He lost all those kids. How many American little kids were in that crowd trying to...
Yeah, and how, you know, I haven't got a number on this. We know we lost 13 of our service people's lives, but how many were wounded, and what were the level of their wounds? There had to be some serious wounded American personnel that are kind of being forgotten. And I don't think people realize how bad this is. And everyone always points to Jimmy Carter as being the most incompetent. I mean, I was a kid, so but I lived through it. But I was a child. I mean, I know, but looking back, I can't think of anything that Jimmy Carter did that even comes close to the level of what this guy did. Plus the flights of the coming in here, we don't even know who these people are.
There's no betting whatsoever, and they're getting this. He's going around Congress by letting them. They're going to be free in the streets. You just watch what's going to happen to America from inside now with these people. And listen, I feel for them. Everyone wants to get away from crazy Taliban, but American taxpayers have, not just money-wise, have to foot the bill. But we're going to be walking the streets, and we're not going to. You're going to start seeing stuff go up in this country. You won't believe.
Well, and yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, we're back. We're back at September 10th. We're in September 10th mode right now, and September 11th. Who knows? I mean, it may not be this one. It may be next one. There's going to be another event, because America has never been as weak as it is right now. I remember when Oklahoma City happened, okay, and Clinton came out with what's his name? Who was his Attorney General? Janet Reno. He comes out. I knew her name. I didn't forget. I just wanted to get that little descriptor there in the beginning. But Janet Reno came out with Bill Clinton after Oklahoma City and started blaming Islamic terrorism, and then we found out it was some homegrown lunatics. If there was an act of terrorism today somewhere, this administration and General Milli Vanilli would be talking about MAGA and right-wing extremism, even though they just shipped 100 and some thousand people from the Middle East, from Afghanistan, that the Taliban filled flights with over here. And this country has never been in a weaker position than it is right now.
Remember the criticism of that we had these people in here, the ones that took down the World Trade Center, were on visas. They didn't know how they got their visa. Well, folks, we just opened up 40,000 people with visas that we don't...
See, those... I watched a lot of that footage, okay? I did not see... And maybe this is just me. You guys let me know. I didn't see one person on one flight that was American. All these people were Afghans. I didn't see any Americans. And those flights were filled up by the Taliban. That was basically Taliban air. The only people that got out of Afghanistan are the people that the Taliban wanted out of Afghanistan.
That's right. That's exactly what Castro did. He said that communists don't let good people through; they hold them up, and they wouldn't let any of them through. It was obvious.
And and what Castro did to Miami, he emptied out the mental institutions of Cuba and the prisons. Is not the Taliban of 01. This Taliban is very smart. That, these are very well-educated, sharp cookies that we're dealing with now.
What you just said to me was the greatest statement you ever made as a talk show host.
Oh.
You said Taliban air. And that's exactly what we got, that we came in. Taliban air. you're going to see this country. We won't be able to do. What are we going to do when they start seeing suicide bombs?
We're very limited on what we can do. We're very limited. But I got to run for a break. I got to do that now. Thanks for the call, Richie the bus driver. We'll take a break and be right back after this.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me.
Take a break and be right back after this. No, it's fine. Just refresh the feed, guys. I just checked. There's no buffering. It's fine. See, I'm looking at it right now. Not decrease, refresh. I hate autocorrect.
Show.com, 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you...
Just answering some of my DMs and emails.
...to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority.
Oh my goodness.
At 954-597-7060.
This next story.
Online at thesoulauthority.com.
Sad one.
That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. This next story is, oh man. This is a sad story I'm going to share with you. You know, if you follow me on Twitter, Brian Craig Show on Twitter, pretty much all my show prep is there on Twitter. Articles that I read that I plan on talking about either here on the radio or on my podcast, I tweet them, and that's my stack of stuff. And a lot of stuff there I never get to because there's only so much time. But if you follow me on Twitter, Brian Craig Show on Twitter, you get all of my show prep. Listen to this. This is from the Post Millennial, which is a very good conservative online publication out of Canada, but they have all the news going on in America. Listen to this. With the full withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan leaving, as many as 200 Americans stranded in Afghanistan looking for a way to get home, one California family with a 3-year-old boy is among the desperate Americans to get out of Afghanistan. The 3-year-old child is a U.S. citizen with a U.S. passport from Sacramento, California. His parents are permanent legal residents of the United States. The identity of the boy and his family is being hidden to protect their safety, according to ABC Channel 7 News out in California. Veterans advocate James Brown told ABC 7's investigative team this: I received a call Sunday morning at about 6 a.m. from a friend of mine who's an active duty Marine Corps officer stationed overseas. And he felt like his hands were tied and he needed some help getting this family out. Brown has been working since Sunday to get the family through to the airport, and they did not make it. 3-year-old boy, American citizen, left behind, but we're supposed to celebrate a victory, Biden is telling us. You know, I mean, I'm physically ill, and all week long I've had this very surreal experience here on the program because presidents just don't do this. Leave people. We've had situations, obviously, where hostages have been taken through a hijacking, a tourist somewhere. Some American tourist decides that Tehran or North Korea are vacation spots, and then all of a sudden they're in prison. You know, and there's been different levels of success with presidents on getting American prisoners and hostages back. But there has never been a situation where a president gave hostages, civilians, gave civilian hostages to terrorists or an enemy of this country. We're in uncharted territory. Uncharted territory. And you're going to start to see, you know, like when Jen Psaki came out, what a cowardly event yesterday. Biden comes out, well, full of anger, doesn't take any questions and lets Psaki do it. And Psaki made some announcements about, I don't even remember what it was. It had nothing to do with Afghanistan in the beginning. Give me a break. It was something about hurricane relief on the Gulf Coast. Really? Really? Did she really think that was going to fly? Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning. My name is Maria.
Hey, Maria.
How you doing this morning?
The best I can do with Americans being left behind in Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. I just can't. I got sick in my stomach, and that's why my throat is burning me up this morning, because I'm sick and tired of just supposed to be president of the United States. You don't do that to the people. You don't do that to our allies. You don't do that to America. Okay? This is sickness. You know, you go out there, you ramble with your little mean attitude, and you the one did this. No one tell you to do this. You did this.
Yeah.
And blame everybody for your problems. I wish that I could just reach my voice into these other media shows. I just can't, because they won't hear my story, because I'm so pissed off that this is going on.
You know, the thing with Biden, you know, everyone wants to blame his cognitive issues, you know. I think Biden has always been this heartless. I think Biden's always been this soulless, okay? It's just that when he was in the Senate or he was vice president, he was a little bit behind the scenes. You saw him just in a little dose here, a little dose there, a soundbite here, there. Now that he's the man and he's the center of attention, and you know what I mean? And he's the go-to guy and the decider and all of this stuff, we're just seeing the personality that Joe Biden has always been.
But didn't pay attention to stuff back in the years. You know, I remember when he was the senator, and I remember many times he would be in that Senate seat and he would be ramming off his mouth, yelling and talking nasty to people. He has always been this way, but it's something special about him. He hates the military.
Yep.
Hates America. It's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sickness is so, and it's so sickness for him to come out there and stand up there and try to blame President Trump for something he did. Dude, you caused this problem. I'm sick of you.
This was not Trump's plan. Trump's plan, permanent military presence, keep our base, end of combat operations, keep the duly elected Democrat leaders of Afghanistan in control. Not this, not a withdrawal. He just was ending combat operations Like I said, we're in Germany and Japan 70 years later. We're still in South Korea all these years later. Okay? That was the plan for Afghanistan, and he bugged out. He bugged out.
Yeah, he wanted to do that, and he's trying to say what he did was...
Did you... Now, yesterday on the program, I played this audio. I don't have it queued up. I'll try if I can pull it up. But he called he called a black advisor his boy yesterday. I played the audio. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I seen it. Because I was sitting there listening to him when he was somewhere, and he was talking, and he said, "Yeah, boy, we have to."
No, let me play this for you, and I want to hear your response as a black woman. Is why I'm playing this specifically for you. This is Joe Biden. This is when he was This was on Sunday when he was at the hurricane briefing.
Senior Director Criswell, she's on, and I'm here with my senior advisor and boy who knows Louisiana.
I'm here with my senior advisor and boy. He referred to an African American man as that's like the N-word to me. What do you think?
Yeah, and that's very defensive to call a black man that kind of word like that. You don't do that. You just call it your advisor. Don't call him
my boy, my advisor and boy. I haven't heard. I thought that one went away. I haven't heard that. Well, he's an old guy, but I haven't heard that. And I'll tell you, that is the most racist thing a sitting U.S. president has ever said. There have been governors and members of Congress who have openly said things like that and worse, okay? You know what I'm talking about, Democrats all. But a sitting president has never publicly used a racial slur against an African American before like that. And I want to throw this out to other black listeners of this program. That's so out of date. A lot of younger black people have never heard it before, may not understand it. But that is a term that is used to describe a black man as property.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. That's a nigger word.
Oh well, yeah. Well, where is Kamala on that? She said he was a racist. You would think, where's Obama on that? Are they going to Obama for a quote on that? Where's Joy Reid? And Don Lemon was talking about vaccinations last night. Where's the Don Lemon segment on this?
They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about anything this man do because they embarrassed. They don't want to admit that what they done to pump up this guy and make it seem like he was elected, because I don't believe he was.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was never embarrassed by President Trump. Not only was I never embarrassed by President Trump, I never felt a need to avoid discussing anything President Trump said or did, and I don't think I ever will, okay? He referred to an African-American man as his boy. And where's Al Sharpton? Where's the total silence? Hey, Maria, I got to run for a break. It's top of the hour. It's 7 a.m. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
You covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attorney Barry Siegel joining us live on the radio. Hey, Barry Siegel, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Brian. You?
Angela loves killer whales, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Angela. God bless Brian. Keep it up with truth. God help us with all the idiots in the White House and the government. Sad time for America right now. No doubt about that, Angela. No doubt. Julian, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Julian, too, while you're at it. Watched a friend go through dementia until his death. As he progressed when challenged, he got increasingly angry, got worse rapidly near the end. Yeah. Yeah.
They had gotten Alzheimer's in their 40s, and they survived for about 10, 12 years and passed in their 50s. Unfortunately, it's not
Steve Kane Show.
That only happens to us when we're in our 70s, 80s, and so on. It can happen at a much younger age. So it's just so important to make sure that we just plan ahead at a point where we actually can do it. plan, anybody who has people that they love, that has family, children, grandchildren, spouse, and you haven't done any planning yet, or you haven't updated or reviewed your plan in a long time, it's very important, because it's just, you can't predict the future. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know. God forbid these things could happen to us. So I would just urge everyone to make sure that you look at your plan and make sure it's up to date. And that's why we will do a free review of your current plan, or if you don't have a plan, come in, fill out our questionnaire. We'll go through everything very thoroughly with you and make some recommendations to make sure that you and your family are protected.
Yeah, and things are always changing. You may not even realize it because things in life happen so slowly, but over the course of time, those documents can be outdated. There's marriages, there's divorces, there's children, grandchildren that come onto the scene that weren't there when you made your arrangements, and all kinds of other possibilities. Give attorney Barry Siegel a call, a completely free consultation if you mention the Steve Kane Show. The number, 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk later in the week.
Thank you, Brian. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now.
Alrighty. 3 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. All right, so these Gold Star families are coming out, and really, it's been going on all week, and every day there's a new one. We've had 2 Gold Star moms come out. We've had 2 Gold Star dads come out. We've had other Gold Star family members come out. And for those that don't know, Gold Star families are families who have lost a service person in their family. And during the Second World War, when someone lost someone in the war, they would put a Gold Star flag at the front of their house. And sometimes they'd have 2 or 3 stars. You know, and that's, did that start in the Second World War, or was it before the Second World War? And, you know, there were, and these Gold Star families coming out in such large numbers, angry, going after Biden. You're going to hear from some shortly. I'm going to start getting into this. Outside of Fox News, Newsmax, and programs like this one, there's a media blackout with the Gold Star families. And, you know, Trump had one Gold Star father after him because he didn't like Trump. Remember Khan? And the Democrats paraded Khan on every TV show, every news program. They had him at the Democrat National Convention. You know, and where are these Gold Star? You know, one of the Gold Star moms, I'll read some of her message to you in a little bit, but one of the Gold Star moms laid into Biden, just lost her son in Afghanistan last week, laid into him on Instagram, and they deleted her account over it. They said it was a mistake. Would that mistake have happened if that was Trump she was going up against like that? I don't think so. You know, it started at the beginning of the week, and I want to play some of them. I want to play the first Gold Star mom that came out. I did play this on Monday, but she was the first one that came out. And she's from the West Coast. She lost her son, and on Friday, she called Andrew Wilkow's radio show.
My son was one of the Marines that died yesterday. I had to listen to that. Sorry, I'm on the radio.
No. Go ahead.
My son was one of the Marines that died yesterday. 20 years and 6 months old. getting ready to come home from freaking Jordan to be with his wife to watch the birth of his son. And that feckless, dementia-ridden piece of crap just sent my son to die. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning to Marines at my door telling me my son was dead. So, to have her on right before me and listen to that piece of crap talk about diplomatic crap with freaking Taliban terrorists who just freaking blew up my son and nothing, to not say anything about, oh my God, I'm so sorry for the family. So my son is gone, and I just want all you Democrats or who voted for him, you just killed my son. With a dementia-ridden piece of crap who doesn't even know he's in the White House. He still thinks he's a senator. So, I'm going to try and calm down, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. She was the first one to come out. And, you know, there are certain people in our society that I think are above criticizing. You know, Holocaust survivors, rape victims, Gold Star families, Gold Star parents, Gold Star dads, and Gold Star moms, and Gold Star wives, and Gold Star husbands. These are people that are honored in our society. They have a special place, and they bring a credibility. You know, she's the first. I'm going to play some of the others that have come out this week. Some of them were at events with Biden this week. I'm hoping Trump has a rally soon and invites these Gold Star families to come to them. I really do. You know, he did this in 2016. He brought to the rallies, and the first Trump rally I went to, this happened. He brought with him not Gold Star family members, but families who had lost someone because they were killed by an illegal. They came to the United States through our southern border. And I remember there was my first Trump rally I went to. This woman came up. It was before, you know, when you go to a Trump rally, there were speakers for hours before he comes out, and she was one of the speakers that came out a couple of hours before President Trump did. He wasn't president yet. This was 2016, and she told this sad story. Her son was in high school, and he was killed on the way to school. His body was burned and left in a dumpster. She told the story in very graphic detail. And there was this Bernie Sanders lunatic in front of me. And she started screaming at her, calling her a liar and a bigot and all this stuff. Security came and removed her. You know. But I think it's time for a Trump rally. And the Trump rally should be dedicated to those who have been left behind by Biden in Afghanistan and to the Gold Star families. And President Trump should come out on stage at that rally with the Gold Star families and just have each one of them come up and share their story and share their feelings, share their emotions at that rally. What are your thoughts on that? 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hi, Brian. This is Sandra from Boca.
Hey, Sandra. All right. How are you?
I'm okay. I just listened to that
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wesley.
And I think
let's go with Kamala.
Everybody,
until Trump can get back in.
Including yourself, myself, everybody involved.
No doubt.
Is that this could have been avoided.
Mm-hmm.
The death even worse. It's one thing to serve and go into combat and know that your child was killed that way. But as it was for the Marines to protect us over there in Afghanistan at that airport, it was the government's job to protect them. And that's something...
Well, you know, when you watch these Gold Star... And I'm going to play some more coming up, but when you hear these Gold Star families from the Taliban, you know, ISIS... Biden said yesterday that ISIS-K are the blood enemies of the Taliban. ISIS-K is the Taliban, okay? Come on, give me a break. Give me a break. Yeah.
You know, if he wants to live in a dream world that they're mortal enemies, he's dreaming again.
Yeah.
Case at all. They work together.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and the reason these Gold Star families are upset is, you know, when people go in the service, they don't go in the service to fight and die. Everyone expects to come home. Everyone knows it's a possibility, just like a police officer or a firefighter or whatever. But the Gold Star families feel that Biden killed their kid or their husband or their wife.
It's the government's job to protect the Marines.
Well, because of what he did over there. Because the way he did it, it resulted in this. And they blame him for... I've never seen that happen with a president. You know, when people have... Yeah, Cindy Sheehan, even, who lost her son in Iraq, who was protesting Bush for years, she met with President Bush and everything was fine in the beginning, and then she got hired by these leftist groups, and then they turned her into a professional activist. But even she, in the beginning, when her son was killed in Iraq, wasn't acting like the Gold Star families of today. This is a very, very unique thing. We've had two Gold Star parents in the past, Cindy Sheehan with Bush and Khan with Trump. Just two who became professional activists, which means that's how they made their living. And the media treated them like saintly figures who were voices of credibility. Where I hope these families get a similar treatment, but I doubt it.
You know that whole thing also about Biden looking at his watch? And believe me, there is absolutely no way in my soul and blood that I'm siding with Biden. But that whole impulsive looking at the watch, he's forgetting he's looking at his watch. That's why he keeps looking at his watch.
Yeah.
Minute-to-minute now type of cognitive, because that's the way it was, because I live with one. And it's the same thing. You ask the same question 30 seconds apart. So this is kind of an impulsivity, because, I mean, he's blatantly doing it in front of everybody. And obviously, if you had any sense, you would know, God, I'm looking at my watch. I better cut that out. You know what I mean? Or else somebody's going to take notice. But he did it as each casket was coming off of there.
Yeah.
I mean, wonder if he even knew that he forgot that he looked at his watch. He's looking at it again and again and again. And I'm like, I see that behavior. I recognize it.
Well, you know, yeah, that's interesting. You know, I didn't think about it that way. If it was Bill Clinton, we would think, oh, he must have some hookup that he's, you know, waiting for him. But, you know, and I saw Biden when he walked out on the tarmac, and he was following Jill, and to me, he could hardly walk, and to me, he looked like, what am I doing here? Why are we here? And, you know, my wife's been telling me that Biden, the stress is aggravating his condition, whatever it is, and that he very well could crack on live TV. And Jill, what are we doing here? Why am I here? Where's Jill? Yeah, I'm expecting to. I think that's why he didn't come out for a day on Afghanistan. For whatever reason, yesterday he wasn't, or the day before yesterday he wasn't capable.
Mm-hmm. And I thought what Jen Psaki did yesterday was awful.
Coming out about the hurricane?
Wonderful. No, not about that, but just how she thinks, everybody thinks that this was just some wonderful success, and we got all these people out of there. Excuse me. There are people left behind, and there are people that have been killed, and that needs to be recognized.
And is this really the largest airlift in history? What about the Berlin airlift that went on for like a year? I don't know if this is the biggest airlift in history. They keep saying that, and we're supposed to be excited about that. You know, yeah, I agree. You know, well, this is the thing, and we saw, this is the Obama influence and with Psaki. You know, if you go back to Obama, I remember watching him and Michelle on an interview when he was in office about Obamacare and why people aren't accepting of Obamacare, and they said, well, you know, we just didn't sell it to them right. You know, they think that everything's about selling and the narrative, and they got the wrong. They can't sell this crap. They can't. I mean, when MSNBC's on the propaganda train, but they've lost CNN on this. That's pretty hardcore.
I know, and you know what there's that expression, you can run but you can't hide.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get worse, because this are going to have serious repercussions.
Well, what do you think about the yelling, the angry speech? What was that about, you think, yesterday?
From who?
Biden. He was like yelling when he gave his speech yesterday.
I didn't see a lot of it yesterday. What was he yelling about?
He was yelling through the whole thing. He was angry, And I think the anger is how he can stay awake and alert through his dementia, is what I think. I think that's how he, yeah.
Brian, I'm being dead serious, and again, you've said it more than once. It's not a joke to have dementia. All you have to do is look into his eyes. Those eyes are blank. They're blank.
Yes.
Nothing there.
And the way he walks is a tell, but the eyes are true. Yes. And yeah.
Listen, when my mother had dementia, that woman would help me with everything, from moving mulch bags to going to the store and helping me with groceries. And I remember we were at the store, and this is when her dementia really started to kick on, and I had to move something heavy, and I kind of looked at her, and she had this look in her eyes, the same as what I'm seeing, and she says, okay, move it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Move it, she said to me. And I looked at her like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Really does change that way. So if he didn't have any empathy in the first place, this is scary.
What do you think he has? What do you think he has? Alzheimer's? What do you think he has?
He has dementia. I just don't know what form yet.
I would say, whatever type of dementia results from years of alcohol abuse is what I would think, because I think he was, I don't think he was into drugs like Hunter, but I think he was a big drinker, and I think that's what we're seeing. So whatever type of dementia is brought on by a lifetime of alcohol abuse, that's what he's got.
I think so. But all you got to do when you look at his next speeches, and you guys got to look at his eyes, they're blank. There's nothing that.
No.
It's going. Believe me, it's going.
Oh my goodness. All right. God help us. God help us. All right. Thank you for your call. I appreciate it. All right. Take care. Conservative Doug. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You just said that the ISIS-K is the enemy. Then why did they let all the ISIS people in prison out?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Taliban emptied out the prison. You're right. The ISIS prison. Yeah.
Oh, they're all friends. They're all buddies, and they'll sell anything they can to try to be another Benghazi cover-up. They're going to keep lying and lying and lying. Before you know it, the American people go, "Oh, I guess it's good that we got it. So what? We killed a couple of them."
Mm-hmm.
This is their MO. Is they just lie and lie and lie. Did you see President Trump yesterday?
I did not. I saw him with Varney, but I didn't catch him. I don't have One American News.
With Dan Ball, very good man. Dan Ball.
Yeah, I know who he is. He's good. Dan Ball's very good. Yeah.
Anyhow, he kind of be very surprised. I can't sit back and do nothing for this country getting destroyed. But it's of the campaign finance problems. He can't say it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if he says he's running, he has to campaign finance regulations kick in. Yeah. So yeah, that's right. That's why they say he's not announcing. And I can see that. I'll tell you this though, when at the end of the summer, when President Trump comes back to Mar-a-Lago, I'll feel a lot better when he's here at home as opposed to being up in New Jersey. I miss in Florida. We're missing Trump. I always feel better when Trump's in town.
Hey, if he has that rally with Gold Star families, it would be heartbreaking.
That would be. I think it has to happen. I think the country needs it, and I think it needs to happen soon.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard thing to listen to, man, because that woman just put on was enough to...
Oh, yeah. I would have her go last, because after she goes, who's going to go up after that? But yeah, the Gold Star family Trump rally is what it should be. All right, Doug, take care. I'm going to take our first break of the second hour. Those of you on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are
Steve Kane Show.
Certified roofing.
Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hello? Hey, hold on.
21 hurricanes. hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about this in the next break. This is my new MyPillow pet bed that I just got yesterday. This is my second one. I have one already, and I got a second one because my dog loves it so much. I keep having to carry her bed from one room to the next, so I got two now. Just got it yesterday.
I got great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses. And mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saves you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, we're back. It is 24 minutes after 7. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Good morning. Once. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
Oh, hi, Brian. It's Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa.
I wanted to talk about the numbers of these people. I believe we're being lied to, the ones that have been, at this point, abandoned. Now, Representative Andy Kim, Democrat from New Jersey, has told MSNBC that him and his office, his people there, have received over 11,000 calls for help.
Wow.
That's one rep. That's one rep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've gone to his website, and it says he takes no PAC money.
Well, I wouldn't say that's 11,000 people, because a lot of these people have probably called 100 times because they're in such a panic, you know. But the number is much bigger than they're saying, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and it's sickening. And I mean, that's a Democrat reporting to leftist media, and I'm like, wow. It's just, I can't even imagine what all the other reps and everyone in the Senate may have. Oh, please help me. They know.
Can you imagine? You know, one of the congressmen said yesterday, some of the Americans, that there are some who chose to stay behind, and the reason is their families are not U.S. citizens, and the Taliban wouldn't let them through, so they can't leave. These guys can't leave their family, right? They can't leave their kid. They can't leave their wife. You know. Can you imagine what it must be like for these Americans that were left behind by Biden, a decision Biden made apparently? What kind of terror they're going through right now? I mean, my goodness. You know, you know what it's like? It's like, think about it. It's, if you're an American left behind in Afghanistan, it's like it's like the purge. It's legal to kill you, to rape you, to murder you. The police and first responders are not coming for you to help you. It's like the purge. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true.
I listened to his speech on the radio. I can't stand to look at his face. But it was one lie after another. It was complete gaslighting.
Yeah, and, this might sound, I know maybe I'm making too big of a deal out of this aspect of it, but I don't think so. Leaving those Army dogs behind, who my understanding is, police dogs are considered police officers. If you hit or kick or hurt a police dog, I think they charge you as if you assaulted an officer. Those Army dogs they left behind, don't they have ranks? Aren't they like all honorary sergeants or something? And to even leave the dog, they couldn't have the dogs on their laps. What the hell was that about? I mean, that's how careless this withdrawal was.
Well, I heard the State Department order them, do not take those animals, do not.
Well, the State Department's giving orders to the military? I thought they were different parts of the government. I didn't realize they were they're part of the chain of command now? I'm very curious about this General Donahue that thought it was a great historical photograph for him to be posing to be the last man out of last American soldier walking out of Afghanistan. He left those dogs behind. He left Americans behind. That's not a hero, General. He's a coward.
I would like to see a lot of court-martials on top brass.
Who's going to do that?
For 2022.
Well, they're following Biden's orders. He's the commander-in-chief. Just following orders. Yeah, that's a great defense. That didn't do very good in Nuremberg. But, yeah. Scary. Have you ever seen a president actually leave people behind on purpose and give hostages to terrorists?
Never.
Oh. And then tell us that we won something.
And brag about what he did. Oh, horrible.
Mm-hmm. All right, thanks for the call. Take care. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Andrea, what's up?
Right. A president wouldn't do that. And that's very different. And we don't even have a regime that supports America. We have a communist regime that has overtaken our government, and they're currently immersing every branch of it. And the sooner Americans realize this, the better off we're going to be. But this is what else I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Then, to break the spirit of the American people, and we cannot let them do it. We can't. You cannot let these people break you. You cannot. We have to stand up as patriotic Americans that love this country. This is God's country. This is not government's country. This is our country, not their country. No matter how bad it gets, we cannot let them break the American spirit, because if they do, there will be no coming back from it. We cannot let them do this.
Mm-hmm.
Buy a flag. Put a flag out on your desk. Put a flag out on your house. Wear your Trump gear. Be proud to be an American. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And you cannot let this regime break the spirit of the American people. It is more important now than ever.
Yeah.
I tell you, because I just went through something so horrific over the last 4 days that you are the first person who I've talked to, spoken a word to, in about 6 days.
But something in your personal life happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
I worked with a vet that served 3 terms in Afghanistan. I trained with him. I went through hell with this guy. We got him through PTSD. We got him back in shape. He was ripped. He was proud. He was healed. He got promoted at work. He got married. And over the last 2 weeks, I talked to him 3 times a day. The PTSD kicked in, and he tried to take his life. So I have absolutely nothing for Joe Biden. Because if my client did it, there are tons of vets doing it who feel like their service was for absolutely nothing. And this government has betrayed the veterans of this country.
Are you saying, and this is, now let me ask you, you know, obviously PTSD is something they dealt with for a while, but are you saying that they had like a triggering episode because of what's happened in Afghanistan?
Yeah, because he told me, he said to me when this whole thing started, everything I did was for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, he told me what he did, and it was brutal. He said everything I did for my country was for nothing.
And canceled them out. Yeah.
You know, I'm just a trainer, and I'm just a life coach. And I just said, you have to get help. You have to get help. His wife was calling me, and then she called me and said, this is what happened. And I literally have not really spoken a word since then, because I literally just can't. I just can't. And if this is one man who's doing this, there's veterans all over the country doing the same exact thing because they have been betrayed by their government.
It's awful. Well, maybe, you know, I mean, I don't even know what to say, but you know, you brought up something that I had not even considered, you know, yeah. You know, because people that are suffering from PTSD, one of the things that keeps them going is that they did something good. And now that Biden has wiped all of that out, it triggers the depression because they can't point to the good that they did for whatever sacrifice. You know, and a lot of these sacrifices aren't physical wounds. What some of these guys do in war situations are unimaginable, what they have to do sometimes. Very painful things, but they feel like they did it for something, and now they're telling themselves they did it for nothing. Yeah, well, you know, when someone's dealing with depression, it doesn't really get, you know, I'm not a professional, but, you know, everything's in cycles. And this is some of the darkest times this country has seen since color television, at least. And I know things seem really bad now, and they're bad, but it's a cycle. There'll be a reaction to this, and the reaction will be 22 and 24, and we'll take back control of the government, and we'll have it, you know, we'll have Trump back in 2024. I mean, that's all we can do. I mean, the things, you know, the Democrats are done. I mean, look what Pelosi did yesterday. She wouldn't let them read the names of the 13 fallen service personnel on the floor of the House. I couldn't believe that story. I couldn't believe it.
It's a regime. And that's why the American people cannot let these people break them.
Damn.
As hurt as I am right now, and trust me, I am crushed. My flag is out. My flag will be out. I will hang that flag until the day that I die. I will make no apologies. I will not bend the knee to this. They will not break these big ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hurting for my friend. I'm hurting for this man because I saw him literally struggle, like from the pit of hell, to get healthy again.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be an American, and I will not let these people break me. Stand against everything, and that will be the hill that I die on. I'm not doing it.
All right, Andrea. I thank you for your call and your thoughts, and stay in touch and let us know how you're doing and what developments there are, all right? Okay, take care. We're going to take our break. That's a rough one. We'll be back.
Hi, Brian Craig here. We've been telling you on the Steve Kane Show for coronavirus testing.
Steve Kane Show.
Buy any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab
Yeah,
test
hold on.
now
Steve
of
Kane
Boca.
Show.
One of our longtime sponsors,
Hold
Dr.
on. What's up?
Mitez of the Boca Raton Center.
It's all the way up.
Management went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing
Yeah.
this weekend, and he
Yeah.
called in live on the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about. I went to any lab test now on Saturday to get COVID-19 tested. And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle that tested positive after 10 days, by the way. Went and had a test. It took 10 days to get the results. We all went into a little bit of a panic, obviously. So we called up any lab test now. It was about maybe 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. They said, come on right on over. I was anonymous. I didn't announce myself. We went over there. We got there about noon. We checked in. 2 minutes later, they took us back, did our test. We sat in the waiting room for less than 15 minutes. They brought us back, gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test. It was completely painless. It was quick, it was simple, it was easy, and it gave you both the IgM and the IgG antibodies, which tells you if you have the infection.
I know, that's a rough call.
If you've been exposed to it in the past.
Now, you went to any lab test now of Boca?
That's a rough call.
Sandalfoot Plaza.
Awesome.
It was awesome. It really was. It was cool, and it's easy, it's simple, and I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Forget this 10-day nonsense.
Doctor recommended. Can I say that in the commercial now? Doctor recommended. Any lab test now of Boca
There you
Raton.
go. Doctor recommended. Yeah, it was
Wow.
really kind of cool, and it was wonderful, and it was easy. And listen, to that end, go over and get tested. This is the test you want to get. It tells you point blank, did you have it, do you have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's great. So Dr. Mitch Matez personally recommending any lab test now of Boca.
You heard Dr. Mitch Matez. Any lab test now of Boca is doctor recommended for coronavirus testing. They're located in the Sandalfoot Plaza. It's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441. Give them a call, 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood over by the Coral Square Mall. Their number...
Pamela, $5 super chat, thank you. Every Republican senator is useless. Andrea weeps for us all, no doubt. Everyone thank Pamela. Thank you for that super chat. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they can't even get the Republicans to agree on impeaching Biden. Not that it would go anywhere with Pelosi, but...
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Woo! That was some call. 20 minutes till 8. I'm Brian. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE1. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, you're on.
Okay, real fast. I keep hoping somehow Biden will resign or something, and then we know how bad it is if Kamala comes on board. But does she have the legal right to choose her vice president or?
Sure.
Oh.
Sure. Yeah. She would. That's how Ford became vice president, and Ford picked a vice president too. Yeah. What happens is it's kind of like picking nominating a cabinet post. She would, if she became president, Kamala would nominate a vice presidential person, and they would go through a confirmation process. I believe is how it works. Yeah, it hasn't happened since Ford. Well, no, but that's how it works. Yeah, sure.
Time ago, you said you would ask your listeners to call in. I really want to know why that congressman, I can't remember his name, he's a Republican, turned away from Trump.
Which one was it? I've forgotten which one you're talking about now. I don't remember.
Congressman, Republican, and he gets on TV and everything, and he's against Trump.
Oh, I need more information than that. There's a lot of these never Trumper Congress people. Which one? Yeah. Oh yeah, Kissinger. Yeah, I know who you're talking.
What happened? This guy was always the other way.
Because he's a creep. He's a creep. I mean, I know who you're talking about. Kissinger. Yeah, I know who you're talking, because he's a lowlife. That's why.
Hey, thanks, Luke.
All right, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello, Brian Craig. How you doing?
No, not too good. That was a rough call from Andrea.
Yes, it was, Brian. This is Ike.
Hey, Ike.
Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. How you doing?
Oh, well, best I can do, considering.
Tell you something. It's been a while calling in one of your listeners. It's been a while since I called you in. I have family that's in the military, and I'm so upset right now that I had a brand new phone. I just broke it in half.
Come on. Then how you talking to me? You calling me on another phone?
Yeah, I had another phone.
I hope the phone you broke in half was not a new iPhone 12.
No, it was another Samsung. I'm gonna get me another phone. But what I wanted to talk to you, Brian, I'm so upset. I have family that's in the military. And I just found out one of my friends' family members was killed in this war. In this war. His name's going to be out this thing. I'm so upset that we have this incompetent president in office. I'm ready to punch a hole through the wall. I'm so upset. And usually I'm a lot calmer in this, because I'm definitely a Trump supporter. I always will be, and I will be until the end. But there is something that's got to be done.
The only thing that can be done is, even though it would be symbolic, is for the Republicans to be able to agree to start an impeachment, even though Pelosi wouldn't let it proceed. And then we take over in the midterm elections in a year and a half, and then we follow through with it. You know, that's all that can be done. We can call on him to resign, but I don't think Jill's going to allow that. You know, we've got to ride it out right now. And I'll tell you, I was talking about this earlier in the show. This is beyond partisanship. I've never really been angry at a president before. I've disagreed with him a lot, different presidents, but I've never been angry at them before. And what I've seen this week, and then that angry speech he gave yesterday, I was really pissed. I'm really pissed. Yeah.
That was I can't watch him, Brian. I can't do anything about him. It's irritating. And then when I found out from friends that's in the military, they're actually that I know, because I know you have to know people personally in the military, because half my family's in the military. I come from a military family. That they're even lying about. They're not even giving the real numbers. They're not even giving the real number. My friend.
That's right. That's true.
Not even giving the real numbers. That people are still open.
But you know what? Even if the number was one, it would be too many. Okay? Even if the number was one. If he would have gotten every American and their families out, and the Taliban still had our Navy man that they're holding prisoner, that would be too much. Even if it was one, it's too many. And the problem is, they didn't hijack an airplane or do anything. The President of the United States gave these terrorists these hostages. By their numbers, hundreds. By their reduction in numbers, it's hundreds. That's never happened before. That's, to me, a crime. And I don't mean figuratively. That's got to be a crime. For a President of the United States to do, this isn't like in Dunkirk, when the army was trapped and they didn't have what they needed to get them out. You know, I mean, we had the ability to get everyone out and did not. And this president made a conscious decision to leave U.S. citizens behind in the hands of terrorists as hostages. That's got to be legally a crime. It's got to be. There was no threat. You know, like, I give you an example, okay? On 9/11, President Bush grounded all U.S. aircraft. A commercial craft, after everything was ordered to land, a commercial jetliner filled with passengers continued heading towards D.C., did not answer radio calls, and President Trump gave the okay to the fighter pilots to shoot down the aircraft. Luckily, they didn't have to do it, because finally they answered the radio call. That's different. If they would not have answered the radio call that day, and his order would have been carried out, and they shot down a civilian aircraft, even mistakenly, filled with civilians, as god-awful as that would have been, that was the right order for him to give that day. This guy made a conscious decision to leave, by his numbers, hundreds of Americans behind to be held hostage by terrorists. If that's not a crime, I don't know what is. And I don't mean a moral crime. I mean an actual... Mark Levin is probably the greatest conservative legal mind in the country. That has got to be a crime under the law for a president to do that. There was not an emergent situation. There wasn't like, okay, we've got to leave these people behind so we can save thousands more. It wasn't that. It was like, we have made a decision. We're going to leave them behind. That's it.
And then what makes it worse, Brian, I just want to say this real quick before I get off the phone with you, is that they left all the equipment there. Trump went off about they left all the equipment. That equipment wasn't supposed to be left over here.
Yeah.
So over there, for God forbid they decide to start bombing and stuff, and that comes in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
We're all sitting ducks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Equipment, all our equipment over there, millions and millions and millions of dollars of equipment over there. And
billions with a B.
Equipment on us, we're all walking ducks, so we over here not defend ourselves.
I know, it's frightening. Yeah, it's frightening. Well, thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. Now, if you guys watching on YouTube, you've seen this, but you guys on the radio, you can't see unless you go to YouTube. But yesterday I was wearing my wife's MyPillow bathrobe so I could show it to everyone, and I've been wearing my MyPillow slippers. Today I brought in my brand new MyPillow pet bed. I already have one. We got a second one. And you can get the MyPillow pet bed starting at $19.99 with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at mypillow.com. And the one I have here is the large. And this is my dog Nina's new pet bed. We have another one. The reason we bought a second one is our dog loves her MyPillow pet bed so much that she always wants to lay on it. And we have one in the bedroom where she sleeps at night. But when we're out in the living room or somewhere else in the house, she wants the bed. So I'm always walking to the bedroom and getting her pet bed and bringing it out to the living room. And I got kind of tired of doing that. And the prices with the promo code KANE are so low, so affordable. I said, let's just get another one. Use the promo code KANE, KANE. We'll have this one in the living room, and we'll have the other one in the bedroom, and I don't have to do this ridiculous walking back and forth all the time. Now, this MyPillow pet bed, there's so many things about it that are absolutely amazing. I've always had pet beds, but none like the MyPillow pet bed. It has the same patented fill inside that's in your MyPillow, which makes it so comfortable. But it's completely 100% machine washable. And yeah, that's right. And I've had every kind of pet bed you can imagine. And pets, dogs, cat loves the pet bed too. Sometimes the dog and the cat share it. Dogs and cats, yeah, my cat loves these things too. So if you have cats, it's good for you too, not just dogs. But dogs and cats are dirty. They're animals. And, the other pet beds, you can't wash the pet bed, really. You got to take the cover off because the inside is foam. You wash the cover, but everything is soaked through the foam. And you can never get the cover back on right. Not with the MyPillow pet bed. It looks like the day it arrived each and every time. It is completely 100% machine washable. We wash our pet bed every week, and then we dry it, and it comes out just like this. And boom, we're good to go. And again, starting at just $19.99 with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. So if you have dogs and cats, you got to get one of these. And also, for all the pet parents in your life, it makes a great gift, the MyPillow pet bed. It comes in many different colors as well. It comes in sizes too, small, medium, and large. The one I have here is the large. It comes in many different colors: blue, brown, burgundy, gray, green, pink. My other one's pink because all my pets are girls. Tan. This one I have here today is tan, blue, all kinds, just all kinds of colors. And also you can flip it. On this side, it has, like paws, a print of paws, nice design. And the other side, it has a different kind of design on it, kind of like a plaid thing going on, and it's just wonderful. And I tell you, it is so comfortable. I could sleep on this pet bed. I really could. It's that comfortable with that same patented fill. So go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Kane at checkout, KANE, $19.99 for your MyPillow pet bed. But you got to use the promo code Kane at checkout, KANE. All right. Let's take our break, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. It belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. So the Gold Star families, some are refusing to meet with Biden. Some are having just terrible experiences when they do meet with Biden. And I played one earlier, a Gold Star mom. This is a Gold Star family member, including a sister. And they actually, the sister, and these are all Gold Star family members of those who were killed in the Taliban ISIS-K attack of last week. And they've met with Biden in the last few days. Listen to this.
You met with the president. What was that like?
Steve
I actually declined the meeting with the president. We went to a different room. When he came, we went to a separate room. I had...
Okay, now let me ask you. Gold Star families have been in the news over the years with different presidents, right? Have you ever heard of a Gold Star family member in numbers like this refusing to meet with presidents? Cindy Sheehan met with President Bush and Khan. Did Khan lose his son with Trump or when Obama was president? Because I think Khan's son passed when Obama was president. I've never heard of Gold Star families refusing to meet with the president, whoever they were. This is new. This is unique. This is very different.
You met with the president. What was that like? I actually declined the meeting with the president. We went to a different room. When he came, we went to a separate room. I had no desire to meet with the president.
Why?
The way he has handled this, everything he's done, every step along the way has been absolutely backwards, and I don't understand the process of how they came to the decisions that they made. A high school kid could make better decisions than they've made in this. they have fumbled the ball every step of the way.
And go ahead, Royce, you did, right?
My sister Cheyenne did. Royce and my dad chose to leave the room. I chose to stay with my brother's wife. She wanted the chance to look him in the eye and see if it was going to be a sincere conversation or apology. And I was able to stand about 15 seconds of his fake scripted apology, and I had to walk away.
I heard he talked about his son, and he talked about the service. What made you feel like it was fake?
He would not look us in the eye. There was not an ounce of sympathy looking at his face.
Wow. Scripted. And talking about Bo. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
Yeah, it's Greg from Oregon. I called a second time caller. I wanted to know, has anybody seen or heard of any one American who's been brought to Afghanistan? They paraded him around on any of these MSNBC LSD shows?
You ask a very good question, and what the caller said, if you couldn't understand it, because you're a little muffled, he says, has anyone seen one American who's returned from Afghanistan? And I have not. I've seen video of Afghans that have come back. I have not seen an interview or video of Americans who have were rescued from Afghanistan. No press conferences, and haven't seen a single one. No, I have not.
Yeah, about the muffled line. You're muffled on the way back.
Okay, it's got to be your phone then.
I'm sure it is. I'm kind of in rural Oregon.
Okay.
Portland. But, lastly, if this is such a tremendous airlift that they're all talking about, how can you leave people behind and brag about it? A tremendous airlift. I mean, what is wrong with...
They keep telling us this is the greatest airlift in history, which was this airlift bigger than the Berlin airlift? Because I thought that it was the biggest airlift. And what about in the Second World War? They keep telling... what they're trying to... Everything they're doing is about a narrative. They think they're crafting a narrative here that people are going to buy. No one's going to buy this crap. Yeah, but you make a good point. I remember when ever hostages have come back, whether it's North Korea or even when our 51 Americans came back from Iran, from the embassy, there were press conferences and events, and I've not seen anything like that. No, isn't that interesting? Because I'm sure the media would like to ask them questions like, how do you feel that there are people left behind and you got out? Yeah. Why do you think we haven't seen Americans that were rescued from Afghanistan on TV?
Why do I think? I think there's any here.
You don't think any made it back?
The way these people parade around nonsense, if they're there for Joe Biden and say, "Oh my gosh, he got us."
Thank you, Joe Biden. I am here with my family because of you, Joe Biden. You got us out. Yeah, you're right. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. They may have muffled phones in Oregon, but they got good old-fashioned American common sense. All right. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Those of you on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Come back with the third and final hour of today's program. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
The Steve Kane 2022 MAGA Cruise is a go. Leaving January 21st on the Celebrity Equinox out of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale.
Steve Kane Show. They won.
The Caribbean.
Yeah, that guy makes a very good point.
Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. Reserve your cabin right now and call Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week. And we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew were very, very polite, and they did the work. And it's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts, extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex stuff, which is
this My Pillow pet bed. This is awesome. It's big, isn't it? I just knocked off the sign in the back. This is the big one, if you're wondering. They have small, medium, and large. That's large.
The old ductwork and install new ductwork.
But I like the big one because the dog and the cat like to sleep on it together. And I got like a medium-sized dog.
It pays for itself because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-GAIN-1. That's 1-888-GO-GAIN-1.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm a little, I didn't get much sleep last night, so...
Well, it's hard to sleep with this going on.
Exactly right. Just, I'll kind of get into it. Just pretend.
Keep on going. Well, our last, before we go back to the phones, we had our last caller from Oregon, right before the top of the hour break. He says, we haven't seen any of the Americans evacuated from Afghanistan on TV. And he doesn't think that they evacuated Americans. The reason is because the Americans they evacuated aren't going to have anything good to say about evacuation under Biden. Because if they could get some of these people on TV to say, thank you, Joe Biden, you saved me, you saved my family, they'd be all over the place. But most of them they don't want them to take questions. Well, how do you feel knowing that according to Biden, 10% of the Americans were left behind with the Taliban? They don't want them to be available to the press for Q&A. And that's why you're not seeing them. And that tells you they're on board with us. Let's take a call or two, and then we'll hear from some more Gold Star parents. Good morning. You're on the radio. Hey, Juan.
Hey, Juan, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Steve? Listen, the thing is that everybody's so quick to
impeach this guy or have him resign, what's the hurry to get Kamala Harris?
Well, because Biden's gotten a whole bunch of people killed, and he's left, he says, hundreds of Americans, some think it's thousands, behind as hostages to terrorists.
Well, do you think Kamala Harris is going to do any better?
Well,
way up to the Senate?
Well, here's the thing, okay? Think about it now. Think about this. She's a disaster. I get it. We've had a lot of presidents, and some of them have been pretty bad, like Jimmy Carter. Have you ever known of another president of the United States to do what Biden did? Leave, by their admission, hundreds of American civilians behind as hostages for terrorists? So what I'm telling you is, as bad as Kamala is, she can't be worse than this guy. Not even Jimmy Carter did that.
Well, but the thing is, though, and I don't want to sound discriminative here, but a woman in charge. Is supposed as
We already have a woman in charge, Jill Biden.
Yeah, well, I can't argue with that one there, but anyway, all right. Then.
I don't see how Kamala could be worse.
This is a woman that really doesn't have any kind of executive experience anymore. Biden at least was vice president, and they know that he can't be bought.
Yeah. Well, see, I think Kamala, who was nowhere to be seen yesterday, she's usually behind him. I think that Kamala is very overwhelmed with everything that involves the presidency, and she would probably let the deep state and the bureaucracy handle most of the big things while she has tea parties or something. But he went against the deep state and pulled all U.S. troops out. I don't know if Kamala would have done that.
I don't know about that. I think that this guy doesn't know where he's at, and then the deep state is running the country.
If the deep state were running the country, we'd still be in Afghanistan. That's why CNN's turned against him. CNN is the deep state, the CIA. Listen, none of us like Kamala. No one likes Kamala, except Obama, I understand. But that means Michelle doesn't even like her, if you get my drift on that one, with the rumors. But she can't. What this guy did is criminal.
Agreeing on that. But again,
All right. Well, if it's again, we've said enough. All right. Thanks for the call. The Gold Star families, I've been playing some clips of the Gold Star families today. Let me play this one for you, Steve. These are two Gold Star dads. They run with Hannity, talking about Biden and their experience with Biden. Listen.
Biden over the weekend. How did that go?
Well, initially I wasn't going to meet with him, but then I felt I owed it to my son to at least have some words with him about how I felt, and it didn't go well. He talked a bit more about his own son than he did my son, and that didn't sit well with me.
You chose not to meet with President Biden. I don't know if you want to comment on that, and I'd like to know, when I saw Biden look at his watch, I was literally like, you got to be kidding me. Why did you choose not to meet with the president, Darren?
For exactly the reasons you just gave. We said absolutely not. We didn't want to deal with him. We didn't want him anywhere near us. We as a family decided that was the way it was going to be. In reference to the checking of his watch, that didn't happen just once. That happened on every single one that came out of that airplane. It happened on every single one of them. They would release the salute, and he looked down at his watch. On every last one, all 13, he looked down at his watch. And as a father, seeing that and the disrespect and hearing from his former leaders, one of his master sergeants said exactly what you just said, that this was avoidable, that they left them over there. They had them over there and let them down. And that we can't have that. It can't happen ever again.
Mark, you want to comment on the watch incident? Did you notice the same thing?
Yes, I did. I actually leaned into my son's mother's ear and I said, I swear to God, if he checks his watch one more time, and that was only probably 4 times in, I couldn't look at him anymore after that. Just considering especially the time and why we were there, it was I found to be the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's 2 Gold Star dads. I mean, this is we're in uncharted territory.
The watch. It's like Biden has reached the point where he can't even put on he can't control himself enough to put on a show. What did it take for him to stand there and, resist a temptation to look at his watch? Surely he had to know that this was something that would infuriate people, but he did not have the ability to control his action. That's the thing that scares me.
Yeah.
That scares me.
Yeah.
I was disappointed. Geraldo, oh my God, I'll never get over Geraldo. I mean, Geraldo's the guy they bring in when they've got a panel that's unbalanced and they need somebody to take an arbitrary position. He's like the house dog, Geraldo. They bring him in, they tell him which way to go, and he makes up, some nonsense. I was screaming at Geraldo on the television set. I've never seen anything like
Steve Kane
this.
Show.
I've never seen any. There's never been anything like this.
What was Geraldo saying? What was his position?
He had been given the sorry task of supporting Biden, and he was making up all kind of lame excuses and
Excuses for what? The watch or what? What was it?
not the watch. Just he was. It wasn't any one thing he said. He was basically taking a soft position.
Yeah.
President.
Mm.
He had clearly. It seemed to me watching it that they had clearly been told to tamp this thing down, because the day before there was just tremendous rage and anger, electric.
Was this on the 5? Yeah.
Pretty well. I stuck pretty well.
Well, I would say that's good
job.
Well, I think it's pretty irresponsible to say, okay, you got to take the Biden position, go on there and do it, and give credibility to that position at all. I think it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. I mean, there's certain things. I mean, what Biden has done is it's got to be criminal to make a conscious decision in a non-emergency situation to leave Americans behind like this. It's got to be a crime, and to go on and defend it it's not responsible. Let's take another call or so before we break. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air.
Oh, hey, Steve, or Brian. This is a Kentucky conservative from Fort Knox, Kentucky, man. First-time caller, long-time listener. Hey, I tell you, I served 31 years in the military, and I still serve as a civilian for the Department of the Army. And we are all human mad, and when I say we, all the veterans here at Fort Knox, at how this commander-in-chief has got blood on his hands.
Mm.
Man, I was looking last night and seeing they're doing a parade with our equipment.
Oh yeah, wait till you see their September 11th celebration they do with our helicopters and everything else.
To make a case that they were trying to make the case that the Taliban getting all that equipment wasn't really a bad thing.
Oh my goodness, Geraldo Rivera said that. Geraldo Rivera said that.
The whole panel, it's like they've been, I don't know, it is
lobotomized. You know, Geraldo, Geraldo is a New Yorker, born and raised, and the Taliban, they yeah.
I tell you, and it's like to see the State Department get up there and say that this equipment that we left is really not really significant.
Who said that?
The discussion. Or whatever they call them.
The brand new Black Hawk helicopters. The brand new. They have the 26 large.
Bad thing, is
brings balance.
They have 3 C-130. Can you imagine a C-130 loaded with, I don't know, maybe a nuclear bomb?
And it has a U.S. flag on it. And by the time they realize it's not ours, it's over D.C. or New York. Yeah, that's great.
9/11.
Well, our caller in the last hour, I thought brought up a good point. We haven't seen any of the Americans rescued by Biden on television to be interviewed because they're all pissed off that they left their friends behind. Yeah.
And as a soldier, no soldiers are left behind, and he's left hundreds of Americans. He's a failed commander-in-chief. He's an idiot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No president has ever done this. No president has ever done this. Never. And remember, these are civilians that were left behind, too. No fighting chance. What I was talking to a caller earlier, if you're an American, if you're one of the Americans left behind in Afghanistan, it's like the Purge movies, right? Murder, rape is legal against you. You can't call the police. You can't call the paramedics. First responders are not responding. You're living in the purge.
But the purge, the people that are doing the purge, they have a by name list because Biden, the idiot in chief, gave them a hit list.
What they did. Well, what they did is these. They did 2 things. One, these generals that should all be fired. And then court-martialed. They gave the Taliban a list of all the Americans in Afghanistan with their addresses and phone numbers.
Anything like that?
Never. I mean, what's worse is that I spent a lot of time in that desert over there. I spent a lot of time with the Afghans. There's a lot of good people, and these women and children. Those people that helped us. They're not only going to be dead and killed, and as an example, but their whole families are going to be slaughtered. So no one else will ever help any Western military or anybody in that country again.
Well, I'd like to know which one of these generals gave the list with the addresses and phone numbers of all the Americans in Afghanistan to the Taliban.
I know that at the embassy, those payrolls were left too. So they had that information on which Afghans were helping them and which Afghans were getting paid.
What that was at the brilliant State Department, when they left the U.S. Embassy, they left all the payroll records behind, which give the contact information and addresses, of course, of every Afghan who not only was working for us now, but working for the United States for the last 20 years.
I know. And even he even left the daggone interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
That helped him and his buddies get out when they get to safety.
The guy that saved his own life, he left behind. Screw him. And their dogs. They even left the dogs behind.
Now, whoever did that.
Where's PETA?
Whoever did that, involved in the television production of this, the idea of putting the thing with the dogs in was a great idea, because a lot of the liberals, don't give so much of a damn about,
people.
Afghans get killed. Oh boy, you start going after dogs, they really get upset.
Well, and I'm not joking about this. I was expecting all day to see at least one person from PETA on Newsmax or Fox. I must have missed it. There was a PETA person on? You saw a PETA person? I missed it. Oh, okay.
And it must have been on...
Canine Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got these daggone liberal fact checkers all over social media saying it's false information.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's true. Hey, thanks for the call. Now, speaking of dogs, I take very good care of my dog, and I know you guys take care of your pets. And I brought in with me this morning my brand new MyPillow pet bed that I just got in the mail yesterday, Steve. And yeah, just $19.99 with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And the MyPillow pet bed, this is the second one I have. I have another one, and the reason I got the second one is we have one in the bedroom, for the dog to sleep on at night. And when we're in the living room, the dog wants her MyPillow pet bed. She loves this thing, and I keep walking back and forth from the bedroom to the living room all the time. So I said, you know what? It's $19.99 with the promo code Kane. Let's just get another one, so I can have one in the living room and one in the bedroom, so I don't have to keep walking back and forth. So we ordered one. We got this one yesterday, and I brought it in so I could show everyone on YouTube. And inside, it has the same patented fill that is in the MyPillows. And let me tell you, my dog, my cat, they love the MyPillow pet bed. We wash it every week. It comes with a 10-year warranty, and we wash and dry it every week. And every time we take it out of the dryer after that wash, it's like the day it arrived. It holds up very well. They come in different sizes for small, medium, and large. This is the large. And they come in many different colors. This one is tan. The other one I have is pink. They come in blue. They come in green and other burgundy, many different colors. And they're two-sided. The one side has, like little pet paws on it. And the other side has kind of like some type of plaid design on it. It's very, very nice and very, very comfortable. I could sleep on this thing. And if you go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, $19.99. It's a great deal. Your pets will love it. And you'll love it too, because you can wash the whole thing, and it gets all that pet dander and all the dirt, all the things that animals leave on the bed. It's completely clean, and it helps a lot with my allergies, I'll tell you. And it also makes a great gift for anyone you know who's a pet parent. So go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and order your MyPillow pet bed. All right, there's only one opening on the board, so if you're on hold, stand by. We will take our break and be back with your calls after this break.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the
Steve Kane Show.
like Goodyear and Firestone at discount
Hold on.
prices that absolutely
Steve Kane Show.
can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota
Hey,
van
Dad. Hey,
at the other shops,
Steve Kane Show.
$175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just
Hold on.
$75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing, and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive, and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Donald Trump here. You're listening to the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America, The Steve Kane Show. I love this show. Melania and I listen all the time. There's no better way to get the word out about your business than advertising here. Make America great again and advertise your business on The Steve Kane Show.
Thank you, President Trump. Call 1-888-GO-KANE1. That's 888-465-2631. Meet with me, Brian Craig, and Steve Kane, and we will be hearing about you and your business on the longest running radio show in Florida, The Steve Kane Show, 888-465-2631.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, I appreciate President Trump's help with that. All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. And before we go back to the calls, I got a call, Steve. I don't know if you were listening around 7:30 from Andrea, a veteran that she knows attempted suicide this week. He suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, and he's got a lot of problems from his days in Afghanistan, and seeing that his sacrifice in Afghanistan has totally been wiped out and canceled, it drove him over the edge with PTSD. Thankfully, he was not successful, but that's something I had not even considered, that Afghan veterans suffering from PTSD are having these trigger moments now because of Biden's screw up here. It was a rough call.
The situation here is really, when you strip all the tinfoil away from it, the situation is very simple. At the core, there is a president of the United States who is, we won't use incendiary language or anything like that. He simply is not qualified to do the job. It's that simple. And the job is so key and so important that it risks the survival of the planet. I mean, we're talking, this is a nuclear age. And who knows, what the heck we'll get into with this incompetent running the country. There has to be a process where that kicks in, where at least they put on the table the idea of demanding a resignation.
Well, okay. Well, what about the people? Well, what about the people that say, though, Kamala's a disaster and she would replace him?
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, see what Biden has that Kamala doesn't have is the power. People take Biden seriously as opposed to Kamala.
Yeah. Well, a story broke late last night. I haven't shared this yet because I wanted to get other confirmation of it, and I just did from a couple other sources before I went with it live on the air, and this is god-awful. There was a story, this strike that Biden ordered to the ISIS, after the ISIS attack at the airport, killed a family with children. They had special visas to come to the United States, and they were about to leave and come to the United States, and they were killed in that airstrike Biden ordered last week. I mean, just everything he touches turns to death and destruction. Nothing.
Giving out the lists of the people that worked with us, turning kill lists, turning them over to the enemy. I mean, it's just beyond outrageous. It's incompetent. I don't want to get too emotional about it. It's just plain and simply, we need the process to work. The process is set up. The founding fathers, in their infinite wisdom, understood that there might be some.
The process is there, Steve, but no one's doing it. No one's doing it.
Be the day, because for him to get up there so arrogantly and claim this is a great victory, I thought that would send public opinion.
And then what he did after his, you may not have caught this because I didn't catch it either. I saw it this morning when I was going through the news. He gave his speech. He walked away from the podium, and then he walked back. He left his mask. He went to grab his mask. I mean, this guy he's everything with him is you want to take some calls? We got one opening on the board. Let's go here. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian. This is Jim in Cincinnati, and normally I call and we have fun poking each other politically, but it's not time for that. I've got 3 points. One point is about the dogs, and it'll be quick. There's a special place in hell for that man because of that. It is on it.
Yes.
On it. Now, 2, there was an impeachment process against Trump for a phone call. On July 23rd, Joe Biden called the president of Afghanistan and asked him to tone down what he was saying about the Taliban's insurgents.
Well, it's more specific than that. He called up the guy that fled with the cash in the helicopter for his life. Biden called him to lie about how successful the Taliban military movements were. To cover. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
And on top of that, and I can't debate any of these topics except to know that they are facts. Second is, it's not just a list that they gave of the people. people have to be aware, if they aren't in Afghanistan, but at least around here, they gave away the biometric list and the capability. And the biometric list is something where they can tell that we use, it was our top-of-the-line security that could tell who someone is biometrically.
Yeah, which is, I did not even know that technology existed, and now the Chinese have it. Yeah.
Have it. They have the list. Okay? They can have it all day long. If they don't know who they're looking for, it's a shot in the dark.
You know, that's why I've never done those, a lot of people do those DNA tests, you know, in the mail and everything. I've never done them. And I've always said that the reason I haven't done them is because they put your DNA into a database, and that's where they get this biometric stuff at. Yeah, I know.
Over there were important, okay? And it's weirdly coincidental that they've got all our uniforms now. But the biometrics were around because everyone, and it's not prejudicial, everyone looks the same. And they couldn't tell who's good from who's bad. So when people were registered as good, they were registered that under biometric, and there's no hiding. They can sit there and act like they're Taliban even. The Taliban can zap them with this for the most part, however it works, and find out
which side they're on. Yeah, which side they're on. Could you imagine if the Nazis had such a device? Oh my goodness! I mean, this is, yeah. Well, they didn't have the, but you could pass as long as you were circumcised. You could pass. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Rabbi David, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. You know, I'm incensed like everybody else, and one word comes to my mind, and you're a young man, so you, of course, know this from history. Entebbe. I remember when Israel went into Uganda in the secret of night to go rescue their citizens into another country. They didn't have soldiers there, and that's what they did. They did it successfully. They only lost one soldier. It was Benjamin Netanyahu's brother. And here, we're in this airport, we're in this country, and have citizens there, and we couldn't go and rescue them. We didn't have to go into the secret of night. We didn't have to have a secret mission to go. We were there, and we couldn't pull this off.
No. The president made a decision to not pull it off and leave them behind.
You're right. That's a very key fact. You got to focus on that. This is all about parental judgment.
And he came out yesterday and said, "Celebrate! 90% of the ones that wanted out got out. Yay! Let's bring out a parade." You know.
I agree with you. I think the watch thing is very emblematic of his entire gestalt of who he is, of the whole thing. Because if you notice, he knew it was wrong to look at his watch.
And he was out of control. He couldn't control the impulse.
He peeked. He didn't make it like, oh, he looked at his watch and looked down. He knew it was wrong. He peeked. He did that thing we do like, no one's watching me, I'll just peek. He knew that he shouldn't be looking at his watch, but he couldn't control himself. That is a major thing. And I'll say one more thing.
Very true. That's very key.
Yeah.
Rabbi, very key.
I'll tell you this also. You know, this does not go for Democrats because they won't understand this, but, you know, I pay taxes like everybody in your studio and most of your listening audience. You know, we pay these taxes, and it's a lot of money, and we spend a lot of time working, and then we have to pay these taxes, but we do it. And why? Because we want to buy military equipment to protect our country, and we want that military equipment to protect U.S. citizens. You know, aside from the roads or whatever else we pay taxes for, but that's why we pay our taxes. And to have billions of dollars just left behind, like these politicians look at it like, who cares? It's our money, the government's money. No, it's my money. When I go pay my taxes...
And then at the end last night, they were trying to sell us at the end, last night, they were trying to sell us the fact that all that stuff left behind, it was like a good thing. I mean, how they had the nerve to do that is beyond me.
Did they? Yeah, a good thing. Well, if you're the Taliban, it was a good thing. They're executing people by hanging them with our Black Hawk helicopters.
Oh yeah, we're going to. By the way, and you're right, Brian. You had said something about they now have a good PR person. Oh, they're a little more savvy than years ago.
Oh yeah,
doing a lot of stuff to throw things in our face. You're going to see it over and over again. symbolism, 9/11.
See, in 2001, the Taliban were a bunch of guys that lived in mud huts. These guys are very well educated and sophisticated. It's not this. This is the new Taliban, and they're and they know how to do they know how to manipulate media. When I saw they did the first press conference they did, and they were talking about freedom of speech, and the guy said, "Well, go talk to Facebook about freedom of speech." And I was like, "Whoa," I mean, that was pretty. That was like a Trump comeback. Listen, Rabbi, we got to run for a break real quick. We're late.
Well, yeah, Kamala Harris. I think somebody must have told her, just keep your head down. Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Take care. We'll be right back.
You think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show.
Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. It belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group. With 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, guys, we have a full board of calls. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Yeah.
My 2 cents in here. All I ask at this point, and I think people have to calm down. This is not a time to get people worked up.
Barbarossa, $5 super chat. Everyone thank Barbarossa. Brian had a dream last night. I was in Afghanistan with our troops, and Biden is the most disrespectful president for looking down at his watch.
Get back to the system. We need to let the system work. We have a Congress that is, when you look at the numbers, very equally divided. America isn't of one mind on this, although I have a feeling from all the things that I've seen them, the polls that I've seen them print, that people are pretty much against what Biden did.
Yeah.
But I just want the system to work. I want the wheels to get in line to at least start a process where America can, the people can be heard again.
Well, Steve, there's a problem. The Republicans can't even agree to have an impeachment move forward. Yeah, they're divided on this. They can't get enough Republicans to push for an impeachment. I understand an impeachment's symbolic right now with Pelosi. Did you see Pelosi wouldn't let the names of the fallen soldiers and Marines be read? on the floor yesterday?
I mean,
I couldn't. I thought that was fake news. If I said there's no way in hell that she did it.
the other thing I want you to think about is this. There's a big thing that no one's talking about, okay? One of the positive things this has done so far, if you try to find a silver lining in this dark cloud, it has waylaid the vote on the budget. That vote has been put off because they're too busy dealing with this. There is still time to save the economy of this country, which if we don't save it is going to go down the drain with this monstrous budget that the Democrats are trying to push through. If we could salvage nothing else from this, at least get enough opposition to Biden to...
Yeah. Now listen, I want to tell you guys, we got a full board of calls. We're going to take a call, but the show's been so busy. It's flown by. We took our last break really late, and it's almost time for the final break of the show and the Gold Report. So we're going to take a call, maybe two, but probably just one. We will break, and after the Gold Report, we'll take more calls. So if you're on hold, bear with us. Only if you want to talk to me on the phone, Steve. Okay, just if we have a phone conversation. But let's go to the phones. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hi. So not only has Biden killed the military people, he's also killed these dogs. Hello?
Yeah.
So who's going to feed these dogs? No, nobody has time to feed the dogs. Another thing is James T. Harris played a clip of Biden when Benghazi, that whole situation was going on, that Biden said the same words about we will never forget, we're going to go after these guys with a vengeance, and then there was so just a repeat with no action at all. And then there was a guy last night on talk radio. He said, never trust a politician that is for abortion, because if they don't care about abortion, they don't care about human life.
Well, usually the pro-abortion people, they think there's too many people but not enough animals, and when it comes to dogs, they get very emotional when it comes to dogs. You know, that as I know people will think we're joking, we're not. Leaving the dogs behind could be what brings down his presidency, because that will turn the left. I'm not kidding. That will turn so many people in the left against him. You have no idea.
I agree. People care more about their animals than they.
Indeed. Now listen, we're going to take our last break, and again, I apologize for this short segment. We've had great calls today, and it's a sad day too. We're going to take our break, come back with the Gold Report, and then we'll go back to our very, very busy phones. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. We'll be back with the Gold Report right after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, we are back, and it's time for the Gold Report with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca Raton. William Youngerman, good morning. Well, good, and I can always tell by the way you say good morning how the metals are doing. It sounds like it's a good day.
Metals are doing just fine.
We saw gold up $3.90 yesterday, closing at $1,814.10 after trading in a range of $1,801 all the way up to $1,820. Silver was down 13 cents yesterday at $23.88 the ounce. Platinum was up $7, closing at $1,008, and palladium closed down $32 at $2,409. This morning we've got gold up another $3.90 right now at $1,818 the ounce. Silver's up 25 cents at $24.12. Platinum's down $2 at $1,006. And palladium is up $17 at $24.26. The U.S. dollar is lower this morning, helping add strength to the precious metals. And Bitcoin trading at just under $47,800.
Now, for people that have things lying around the house or in a safe deposit box gathering dust that they want to turn into cash and they want to have an appraisal, what are some of the items, common and maybe not so common, that people might have that they could bring on over and get an appraisal for?
We quite often see jewelry that comes in that people just aren't wearing. A lot of jewelry has become outdated that people have had since the 80s and 90s and stuff that they just want to change and turn into cash, or maybe it's gotten broken or they've lost an earring. Things that are just laying around just gathering dust and can be turned into cash real easy. They bring them in. Silverware, things of that they don't wear anymore. Collectibles are very popular. We buy pocket watches, old watches, new watches. We pay top dollar for Rolex and Patek Philippe watches. So anything you've got that may have some value, bring it in. We give you a free appraisal and cash on the spot should you decide to sell.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. So listen, you can stop on in, located in Boca Raton at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. If you have any questions, they open up at 10 a.m. weekdays. Give them a call over there, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, we got time for a couple more calls, Steve. You want to take some calls? Okay, all these are screenless. I have no idea who these people are. We're going to find out right now. You okay? All right, good morning. You're on the air. Good morning, call. Yes, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Kathy.
Yes.
I just wanted to say it's going to take people like you, you and people like you to keep this fresh in America's minds, because when I think back to 9/11, it was tragedy, just tragedy. All those people that died, but they were dead instantly and gone, except for the memories of their family.
Well, it's an interesting thing. September 11th is 10 days away, and it's 20 years. And 9/11 families have publicly said this week they do not want Joe Biden to come to any September 11th memorials. That goes for New York. That goes for Pennsylvania. I don't know about the Pentagon because he kind of owns the Pentagon. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I am so afraid that this is going to be just brushed under the rug. And, because I can already see little seeds of, CNN and all of those places, suddenly they were against Biden. I think it was, I'm sure they felt the horror of it, but I think it was also it would be very unpopular to be for Biden. And so now I'm starting to see little snippets of...
This is the problem. You're right. They're starting to pivot back to Biden, but here's the problem they have. The Taliban are going to act up constantly. September 11th is a big day for them, too. They have, by Biden's admission, they have hundreds of U.S. hostages. They're going to start rounding them up. And the Taliban, they're going to continually act up over there. And so it's going to constantly, sadly, be in the news. And I'll tell you another thing, too, that's going to be a big turnaround. It's what this didn't occur to me, so I want to give credit. About an hour ago, our caller from Oregon, we've not heard from one American who was rescued from Afghanistan by Biden on any interview anywhere yet. And that's because the State Department, they're trying to keep them out because they don't want them to be asked questions. And which means that the answers aren't going to help Biden. So those people soon enough will be out there in the media. They're not going to be able to keep them silent forever.
in Afghanistan now that...
Well, because we gave them, because, you know, when we went into Afghanistan, it was like the 5th century. We rebuilt it. They have 5G internet and everything over there now. And the new Taliban leaders are very savvy when it comes to media and social media. So they're going to share and broadcast it for us constantly, the Taliban.
I know all those people that are behind the lines in Afghanistan in hiding that are being hunted down.
Mm-hmm.
Their phones. Can't the Taliban tell where they are?
Yeah, they'll start rounding them up, and the Taliban will let everybody know when they do that too. They won't keep this a secret. One day you're going to turn on the TV and you're going to find out the Taliban have 200, 300, 500 American hostages, civilians all somewhere, held up in some compound, probably the prison that we used to have ISIS in, you know? Okay. All right, well, we'll try. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, Brian, Steve.
Agostino.
Yeah, tell you what, I heard that they, I don't know whether this is true or not, but I want you to tell me. I heard they were taking our Black Hawks and they were shooting Afghanistan people.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Are doing that?
Yeah. They're also putting nooses on the bottoms of them, putting the nooses around the necks of Afghans, and then they take them off and go hundreds of feet in the air and hang them with our Black Hawks. Yeah, sure.
What are we going to do about it? Do you have any idea?
Biden's in charge of that, and what Steve said, they're telling us it's a good thing that they have a military now. I guess it brings balance of power to the region. Is that what they're saying, Steve? I'm very confused. I'm not kidding. I mean, this is... Yeah. Hey, Augie, take care. One more call. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Someone with Biden?
Saying that he should be forced to resign, impeach, the 25th Amendment. Yeah, I think that's pretty hardcore. I want to tell everyone, once again, you know, we lost our friend last weekend, Richard Pearl, and it's amazing, Steve, I'm still hearing from people who are just finding out. People are in shock over this. And I want to let everyone know that have been contacting us, you know, what can you do, what can you do to help? Richard Pearl's store, Simply Natural, is still open for business. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. And the best thing you can do is to continue to support Richard Pearl's store, Simply Natural. His family work there, and the workers that aren't family, they're pretty close to it. They've been working for Richard Pearl at that store for 25 years. Everyone over there is an expert in the area of nutraceuticals, trained by Richard Pearl, and are able to help you. And those of you out of town, you can order by phone. If you can't make it into Simply Natural in person in Sunrise, give them a call. If you're out of town, or maybe you're in town and you can't make it to Sunrise, I get it, call them, okay? Between 11 a.m. and 9 p.m., 7 days a week, that's their hours. They'll ship to you anywhere. The number is 954-741-4045. 954-741-4045. If you've missed that number, it's listed at stevekaneshow.com. If you can stop in person, that's great too. They're located in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip, on the east side of University Drive, in the shopping center where the IHOP is. All right, that's Simply Natural. And when you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. All right, Steve, we're out of time for today. You want to sign us off?
That does it for today. We will be back to do it all again tomorrow. Oh, boy, I got to tell you.
I know.
Till tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., on behalf of our technical director, Tyler Kane, my partner, Brian Craig, and, of course, I'm yours truly, Steve Kane. Till tomorrow, God bless America.
Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick, so I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain, I felt incredible. It made a huge huge difference for me, and the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and
Great,
order
thanks.
your MyPillow mattress topper and
Awesome.
do what
Thank
Kathy
you.
and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save.
Hey guys, now listen, I got to run, but make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, okay? Click that notification bell, and everyone, even if you're already subscribed, like the video. And hey, this MyPillow pet bed. Hold on, got to hit the next commercial. Hold on. $19.99 with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. They come in 3 different sizes. This is large, just to give you an idea. They come in small, medium, large, many different colors. That's right. And you'll love it. I promise you. Your pets will love it. Your dogs will love it. Your cats will love it. It makes a great gift, too. All right? So MyPillow.com. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. The large is more. They start at $19.99. The small is $19.99, and they go up from that with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, okay? All right, guys, take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. All right? Have a good day.